Good morning, students. In the last class, we discussed about the origin of the vascular plants, where the one school was considering that the pteridophytes have evolved from bryophytes, and the other school considered that the pteridophytes have evolved from the algal ancestors. And after we also learned about the modern interpretation that was based on the sequencing, or you can say on the basis of the 5S and 16S rRNA. It was said, according to them, they suggested that algal ancestors are more close to pteridophytes in comparison to the bryophytic ancestors. Today we will be learning about the classification of the pteridophytes. So first of all, the term comes tracheophytes. You can see in the slide. Tracheophytes, what do you understand by the tracheophytes basically? Because tracheophytes are the vascular plants due to the presence of vascular tissues, that is the xylem and phloem. Because these plants have vascular tissues, that is why a term tracheophyte was given by Sinner in 1935. Later on, 1 year later, Arthur E. James, he classified Tracheophyta into 4 groups. And what was the basis of his classification? The first point, the nature and the relation of the leaf stem. Leaf as well as stem. What is the nature of the leaf? What is the nature of the stem? And how they are related to each other? This was the first point. Then second, how is your vascular anatomy? If you are going to study the structure of the vascular system, that is xylem and the phloem, whether they are having, if the xylem is having tracheids, vessels, xylem fibers, xylem parenchyma, and what about the phloem? What type of characters, components do phloem have? So this was the second basis. Then third was the position of the sporangia, where the sporangia is located, whether it is located on the stem, it is terminal in position, whether it is located on the leaf, then we call it as in sporophylls. So what type of arrangement or what is the position of the sporangia? So basically these are the 3 criteria on the basis of which Arthur E. James classified tracheophytes into 4 subunits. See, here we can see the tracheophyta, according to Arthur E. James, has been classified into groups called as Psilopsida, Lycopsida, Sphenopsida and Pteropsida. These were called as the groups. Now these groups were further divided into orders. You can say, see, Psilopsida was divided into Xylophytales and Xylotales, while Lycopsida was divided into Lycopodiales, Selaginelles, Lepidodendrales, Pleuromiales, Isoetales. Then after the Sphenopsida was divided into Haineales, Sphenophyllales and Equisetales. And Pteropsida was divided into 3 subgroups that included Felicini, that means the true ferns, Gymnospermi, we know these are also considered inside that Tracheophyta group. Gymnosperms, it includes all the gymnosperm, and then the Angiospermi. So these are the subgroups of the group Pteropsida. While the Felicini, that is the one subgroup, was further divided into Synopteridales, Ophioglossales, Filicales and Meraciales. So this was the classification that was given by Arthur E. James. And what was the basis? That I had already told you. Later on, another classification was given, that was by Tipo. Since Eames, he used the terms groups. Instead of groups, Tipo used the term subphylum. So here, there was the phylum was Tracheophyta, while there was subphylum. While we had subphylum Psilopsida, Lycopsida, just similar to that of the Arthur E. James only. You can see that group. But only what he did, he just renamed the groups as subphylum, that means Psilopsida, Lycopsida, Sphenopsida and Pteropsida, and rest. Then the classes were Xylophytini, Lycopodini, Equisetini and Felicini, Gymnospermi and Angiospermi. These were the classes, and under the Xylophytini classes there were 2 orders, Xylophytales, Xylotales. Then under the class Lycopodini we had Lycopodiales, Selaginelles, Lepidodendrales, Pleuromiales, Isoetales. Why in the Sphenopsida there were only one class, Equisetini, that had 3 orders, Haineales, Sphenophyllales, Equisetales. In class Pteropsida, there were three classes: Felicini, Gymnospermi, and Angiospermi. Felicini was further divided into four orders: Synopteridales, Ophioglossales, Marachales, and Felicales. So this was the classification that was given by Tipo. Later on, we know that the recent system of classification is the ICBN. Now it has been named as the International Code for Nomenclature of Algae, Fungi and Plants. Although earlier it was named as International Code of Botanical Nomenclature, that was ICBN. Later on, Wadlow, what he did, he considered these subphylum as the subdivisions, and Tracheophyta was considered as the division. See, here you can see now the term that we were using. In case of Arthur E. James, we were using the term Tracheophyta as a phylum, and in case of the second one, that is Tipo, he also used the term phylum. But in case of ICBN, that was given by the Wadlow in 1955, we used the term division for the Tracheophyta, and rest, that was considered as the subphylum in case of Tipo. Now it was considered as a subdivision. Psilopsida, Lycopsida, Sphenopsida and Pteropsida. You can see the names are very similar. Later on, he classified Psilopsida into one class only, Psilophytini. While there were two orders inside the Psilophytini, Psilotails, Psilophytales. Then second subdivision was Lycopsida. Class was Lycopodini, while there were four orders included into the Lycopodini. And Sphenopsida was having only one class, and that one class had five orders. Pteropsida had three classes: Felicini, Gymnospermi and Angiospermi, with Felicini having four orders. So almost you can see that the the classes and the orders, they're almost same, but the position, that means the terms that we were using as phylum or groups or subgroups, now they have been modified into divisions and subdivision. So this is the ICBN system of the classification, and these days we are going through that system only. Now we will focus on the characters of all the subdivisions, starting with the Psilopsida, Lycopsida, then Sphenopsida and Pteropsida. So we'll be going through the characters of each and every subdivision. That is very important. You have to memorize all the three classifications. All are important, and you should know the characters of Psilopsida, Lycopsida, Sphenopsida as well as Pteropsida. Okay, now we are going to start with the Psilopsida. So the first thing for Psilopsida, see, basically these are rootless. You cannot see the roots. These are the rootless sporophytes. And here the stem is differentiated to underground. This is the underground part and this is the aerial part. So it is differentiated into the underground, that is known as rhizome, and the aerial part,